So this roadblock is similar to laying blame, right, that we've talked about earlier. But passing the buck is something that we see so commonly in organizations and amongst teams. It's like, you know what, it isn't my fault that the project isn't being done on time or that we're not on budget because Susie and Johnny are behind on everything that they do. We can never count on them. I guess if we're going to make it work, I'm going to have to pick up more of those pieces because Johnny and Sally aren't going to do it, right? We pass the responsibility from ourselves, blame others for what's not being done. And the real question is, do Sally and Johnny have the tools that they need? Have they been given parameters in which they can work? Has their schedule been looked at realistically so they really can succeed? Because if team members get the sense that you don't intend for them to succeed, guess what? They're not going to try. And so blaming others is something that makes you look like you have lost control and that you are not in the driver's seat. When you can't take responsibility, you can't be accountable, then you've given up your power to other people. So think of that. If you're wanting to move ahead, you don't want to be looked at as having less influence, less ability to get work done, less power, right? You want to appear as though you really can move with people. And that isn't to push forward like a Mack truck that says it doesn't matter who's in the way. I'm going to just drive over everything. That doesn't work either, right? But it's taking that ownership and it's taking responsibility and being fully accountable. Don't pass the buck. And once you get out of that playground and you're no longer children, people expect us to be able to take ownership. Your teams will respect you for doing that. When you take ownership, they will take ownership. When you don't pass the buck, they won't pass the buck, at least not as frequently. So think about that today. Don't pass the buck. Take responsibility and full ownership for what's going on.